The Green Edition, in association with the Root Brands, inspiring greatness with natural solutions for people to reach their highest and healthiest potential.
Hello and welcome back to The Green Edition, where we are talking about the future of the health and wellness industry. Whilst the Root Brands is the presenting sponsor of the program, all of the opinions and views in the following segment are of course general in nature. Now, veterans seemingly continue to be amongst the most unsung heroes of our world. The challenges they face on an everyday basis bring them into constant contact with issues of health and well-being, both mental and physical. And joining us now to discuss this further is CEO and the founder of the Root Brands. It's Clayton Thomas, who says the company is looking to level the playing field for veterans everywhere. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for your time.
Mike, thanks for having me back. You know, it's an honor to be of service to those who serve. So let's get into some of the details as to how we do this and why.
Clayton, I want to know why you're so passionate about veterans, and so much so that you've actually sort of targeted and wanting to help people who have served, be it first responders or military-based officials as well. Take us through a bit about your interest.
Well, first, you have to be of service to those who serve, right? That's number one. The second part for me is I grew up in a household surrounded by veterans. My grandfather was a Navy submariner. My two uncles were Navy pilots. My cousin was on SEAL Team 2 for an extremely long time. So the aspects of service are one that I'm very familiar with. And growing up in a veterinary practice, we had clients of all different kinds, you know, from working with police dogs and having friends that worked in different aspects of service. You get to see not only some of the benefits, but you also see the byproduct of what's happened to some of our veterans, and they need help. And if you have the opportunity to be of service in any capacity, and especially in the way that we're able to, then it's almost a requirement.
So Clayton, the media has reported that veterans on a basis in the US and around the world have been exposed daily to the things that you and the Root Brands team are of course very concerned about, these heavy metals, these environmental toxins, and of course the drinking water, things that they come into contact with in the everyday of their occupation. How can your company help servicemen and women around the world? Take us through a bit more about how you guys are sort of undoing the damage done, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Really, the first part is what you talked about, where many people are talking about cleaning up the environment because of these issues, whether we look at what's happened with Agent Orange in Vietnam or depleted uranium in the Middle East, or now Camp Lejeune and all these different environmental impact issues in the United States and all over the world. The most important environment to take care of is that which is in us, right? Because when we look at our military professionals in the United States, our veterans, like Vietnam veterans and Gulf War veterans, are killing themselves at the rate of about 265 people every day. That is a pandemic. And the issues that we face because of our environmental exposure are not just physical, they're mental. And we have the ability to address both of them, which is crucial.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. And how have you introduced your company's products to veterans? And I guess I'm curious to know what kind of feedback that they've provided you based on what you've given them.
No, the first is just through relationships, because as we've talked about before, the importance of social commerce, that we're all connected. So through the relationships of our community, we have many veterans, many first responders of multiple kinds that have had amazing outcomes, many in addressing the physical ailments or the physical issues that pertain to their environment and what they're exposed to. But the really cool ones are the feedback that we get on the mental and the emotional aspect, not only from veterans saying that they're able to feel better, they're functional, they're able to re-engage in society, but also, you know, for say a policeman. And one of my coolest responses initially was from a police officer who started taking Zero in, and on the first day he was like, work is so much easier because they're calmer, they're more relaxed and more reactive. And the thing that we would always want for not being the first responder is for policemen to be more relaxed and less edgy when dealing with the public. So it's a good deal. Less stress, everyone does better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what a great example to share. So just to finish for me, Clayton, what are some key points you want the veterans of the world to know about your company and products? Again, very short and sharp for me, a summary, if you will.
You can get better just because you sacrificed yourself as you thought for the greater good, and you don't have to suffer. We have solutions to help you improve your quality of life, and we have the mechanisms in place to support you in doing it.
Very, very well said, Clayton Thomas. Thank you for joining me on the program, and of course I look forward to seeing you again very soon as we continue our discussions. And of course, thank you to all of you for joining us here on the Green Edition. And remember, please remember, stay healthy, my friends. I'll see you again very soon.